Papers. Papers, papers, papers. What's in a set of papers? The history of the world and the history of the horse run alongside one another, kind of like a set of wheel tracks. And they're both fascinating, and sometimes they're very vague, like paintings found on cave walls, and other times they are detailed, sometimes closely guarded secrets, and other times they're on display of some sort. The public can look them up, much like the American Quarter Horse Association or Thoroughbred or Paint Horse Association. About every breed now seems to have an association with a record, and a lot of the crossbred horses now have an association with a record. Some of my favorite horses through the years have been grade unregistered horses. I know a lady, in fact, that has a grade mare, and she every year bred that mare, and every year the same person would buy that colt. Unregistered mare, unregistered colt, but it's the same principle. There's a record. That person likes that horse, and there's a record in their memory, and they come back and buy that mare's colt every single year. So what's in a set of papers? There's a school of thought that is, I wouldn't even call it an old school of thought, because those paintings on the cave walls are even older, but it's kind of usually an old-timey type ranch type of guy, or that type of thought process that says, well, I don't need a set of papers, I can't write papers, which is entirely true. And yet the papers don't dictate exactly how that horse is going to behave its whole life, but they can sure cut down on some variables. Much like if you would be maybe in need of a pickup, you would go study the statistics on the pickups of today, and you wouldn't buy a huge pickup to pull a little bitty trailer, and you wouldn't buy a little bitty pickup to pull a huge trailer. On that same principle, you wouldn't purchase a high-level dressage horse for your weekend trail rider, and you wouldn't buy a trail rider to show in a high-end, high-level dressage show. So how would you know which is which? Well, you'd look at the papers. So what is in a set of papers? Well, possibly the safe horse.